welcome back to another Flip Talk podcast, episode 11. We have our guest Nikki, which is my girl's best friend.
Yes.
I'm excited for this podcast, and we have our co-host Alex. What's going on,
Hey,
bro?
Alex.
Going on, guys?
We're here on another Sunday, Sunday evening. About to get some good conversations going. So, let's introduce Nikki. Nikki identifies as an influencer, which which I'm excited to talk about. And but before we go into that, tell me a little bit about yourself and where you grew up.
I grew up in the Bronx. And I moved to Connecticut when I was in high school, which was pretty tough because that's all I ever knew was, living in the Bronx, my family, my friends, and everything. So basically, my high school year and up, I've been in Connecticut the whole time, and it's been called home, I guess. But I'm always gonna rep the Bronx to the death of me. So yeah, BX.
Yeah. Every time our guest comes on and say something like that, Alex is just over there like, "Yup, keep talking."
You have to.
No,
it's only right.
No,
it's only right.
It's definitely contagious, for sure. I grew up in the Heights, but I rep the Bronx. We're right next to each other, It's
You better.
So, that transition from the Bronx to Connecticut must have been a little hard, especially with the adjustment. I experienced that myself. So tell me a little bit about how you became an influencer.
How I became an influencer. I was always so intrigued by giving product reviews and going to restaurants and giving my feedback on Yelp or on the Google reviews. And even before Instagram became a thing, because it's been probably in my early 20s, probably literally 21, 22, it was just fun to do that. Before social media came out and people actually promoting stuff, I genuinely like telling people that I liked calamari, how good it was from that restaurant, or the drinks are really good, the pasta was really good. So now in today's world, that's what social media is all about. So I just started, taking that and put it into my social media, basically making a second page that just shows, my opinion on things, my real genuine opinion on stuff. And if it's on my page, I absolutely like it. It's not just, just to promote it because a brand wants to give me something for it or a free product. I generally like to tell my audience, my likes, what I, enjoy or whatnot, or what I don't enjoy. And I just moved it on to in the influencer world, which is, what we see nowadays.
So for you, being that you turned something that you loved into now basically like a second career, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does one go about trying to become this, basically a product reviewer? Because that's what you do. You review products, you put them out to the world and see. Because, there's always somebody willing to try something new. So what does it take to be able to become, to do these product reviews? What kind of work does it entail? What do you have, what kind of research do you have to do?
Basically, for different brands or companies, some brands, they don't want you to post on social media. Some brands just strictly want it for Best Buy or whatever company they're doing it for. Or some brands want you to show it on social media. So I feel like it entails basically your true opinion, good content, actually using it, not just one time, actually using it over and over to see if you really like this product or if you like this restaurant, whatever it may be. And just your time. I feel like most of the time people, what I'm noticing now, for instance, Amazon's a big thing where a lot of companies, they're willing to give you the product for free. They'll even send you the money first for you to buy the product. And they want you to give them 5 stars no matter what. And it's you can get banned on Amazon for that. And I fell into that trap before doing that because you get the free product. You're like, cool, I got a free product. I got to pay for it. And it'd be good products like nice sets or a remote for your game, whatever it could be. And they didn't tell you to always put 5 stars. And I think you just have to be honest. You can't half-ass it, to be honest. You have to actually give your true opinion. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. And brands will try to get you for that if you don't give them 5 stars. They try to threaten you and say, I don't want to give it to you. And that's not how it works. You have to be real authentic when it comes to product reviews, I feel.
So it's such a big field because you have so many products. It's not something that's always physical. Sometimes the product may be a business, right? Sometimes you may be going to a restaurant. Sometimes you may be going to some type of museum and you're promoting them, right? So there's so much in the world to promote, and it could get very overwhelming when you're coming into a field like this, because there's so many different types of influencers. You could be a social media influencer, where it's like Instagram, Facebook, right, Twitter. But then you could also be a YouTuber. You could be a Twitch streamer. Like there's so many websites out there to become an influencer. So I just feel like people have a wrong idea. When you say you're an influencer, they automatically think it's one thing. But it's one thing. Yeah, and that's the problem. When you're an influencer, is not, it doesn't necessarily just mean you're a content creator. Like it's very broad. And so that's why that's kind of what I want to lead into. Pretty much tell me, what was your expectations when you first started versus what you're going through now. So like pretty much what do you like think it was going to be like versus how competitive or just whatever nature it is now?
That's the thing. It is competitive because you can't just post a picture and just go on about your day. Like the quality has to make sense. It has to look like A1, and it kind of takes away from the fun of doing it in a way, because you want to make sure it looks perfect, because somebody else is gonna make theirs look perfect, or they're gonna have that bomb camera that does everything and the quality looks great just from a picture. Like sometimes you have to put the work in, and I guess what I expected is it takes time. It takes a lot of your time. And I tell people all the time that sometimes you're not in the mood to create content that day. You want to relax. You want to just chill, or it's best if you make it ahead of time, schedule it. And then now Instagram does that. You can schedule your content now, which is pretty cool. If you want it to come out at 8:00 in the morning, which most people are up at that time, and maybe that's where you get your most engagement, that's the time to put it out, So it all just depends. The quality is definitely, I learned that has to be good, because people like good quality, relatable stuff, relatable products, relatable stuff that we go through every single day. I would say my overall expectation is you're not trying to make sure you're better than anyone else in like their products, but you want to make sure you're having fun at the end of the day too, if that makes sense. It's all about, doing what you want to do, and even without all the rules and everything, you want to make sure, you're having fun with your content.
No, that's definitely, I can understand that, because it's like John said, it's an open world. Everybody's trying to be that one person.
It's competition.
So, yeah, it's definitely, you got to be a shark in the water, with the other million sharks.
Yeah.
But how do you pick your products, Nikki? Like, how do you choose what you put out there? Because I know there's, like I said, there's millions of products. But what is your go-to one? Like the one that you love to review?
And that's the thing with this world. Like sometimes they say you have to have a niche, and it seems like you're only supposed to have one niche. Thing is, I love everything. So one day I may love products for my cat. I love skincare products. I love showing like the crazy deals that I get online, or crazy deals that I get in store, for the low basically. I guess my favorite that I know I don't have to go shopping for a long time is shampoo. I don't know. I got so many shampoos from brands. And I know I'm good for a while about any type of shampoo, but I guess I'll say hair care and skincare. I really do like that, and I think now with me doing my content, I want to show more videos of me doing that, or me changing up my content and showing me the camera right in front of me putting the products on. Like I think I need to put me more out there in that aspect to show that I do like those products.
So let me ask you, Nikki, what does it look like day to day as an influencer when you're posting, right? So it's like pretty much let me know like how you incorporate that into your life, just the average day as an influencer.
Average day, depending on the weather, if you want a dark aesthetic, if you want like a real light sunlight aesthetic, finding a product that maybe people could relate to, like coffee's a good one, I feel, and people like good coffee. So it's about just showing off that coffee, showing you make the coffee, it kind of sucks, but you kind of can't have fun while you're making making content. Like, let's say I could be outside. I'm like, oh, I want to take a picture of that content. Like, it's like you can't just enjoy the moment in a way. You have to just kind of think about how you're gonna, put that on your page later. But what was the question again?
So it's pretty much like, what does your day look like? For example, like, like the day in the life of a YouTuber, right? As a podcaster, right? So you have to sit there, schedule the podcast, right? For whatever day and time, like now, right? And then you have to, sit here, have the conversations, have a couple hour conversations, right? Let's say 2 hours, right? Then you have to go through 2 hours of footage and edit that, right? So depending on how long the editing takes you, then you have your video, you gotta render it, all that. Then you gotta post it to YouTube, which takes a couple hours for it to upload. You gotta put your title, you gotta put your description, you gotta put if the content's safe for kids, you gotta put all your tags. You have to put a thumbnail. You have to make sure that you check off all the guidelines. You have to make it monetized. If your channel's monetized so you can make money, you have to make sure that it's monetized content, right?
Right.
If it has any of those violations, that money is taken away from you, right? And then you have to do the scheduling, like you said, put the day you want to schedule, the time, and then you have to wait for it to render as a regular SD video, and then you have to wait another like 2 hours for it to render as an HD video. And then what happens is, if you post it before that HD is rendered, you're pretty much gonna have a bad quality video. It's not gonna be 1080p. It's not gonna be HD. It's gonna be horrible quality, right? So throughout all that, you have to live your life. You have to go to work. You have to you have to care for if you have a family or whatever the case is, right? So it's definitely very time consuming. It can become easily a multiple day process. So just let me know how that kind of works for you, to where maybe let's say it's the day you're working, like how do you try to incorporate that? Or is it kind of like, maybe I'll wait for the weekend to post? But the thing is, when like when you have like products to promote, sometimes they give you deadlines, right?
They give you deadlines.
So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me how it could be stressful having those deadlines, plus trying to live your regular day life.
It is stressful, because these brands will really message you like 10 times, like, hello, you ready for tomorrow? Hello, it's already Saturday. You said it'll be done Saturday. And I don't blame them. That's their job as well. And you did promise them, it's basically like a contract in a way. I told you, you get this product, you want it at a certain date. I totally get it. But that's the thing. Now it's like you want to find the trending song now. That's what kind of makes your video pop in a way. You want the trending song. Like you said, you want the hashtags. And believe it or not, looking for a song, especially if you don't have it saved, sometimes I just want to switch up my song. I'm looking for like an hour trying to find something, The hashtags make a big difference. I'll look through that video probably like 10 times, have my boyfriend look at it as well. He's like, Nicole, I've seen it a million times already. I'm like, yeah, but can you see from somebody else's eyes? Are they going to enjoy it? Is it good enough? And that's what I mean when I say that it takes away from the fun of it, because you should just be able to post it. But like, as a creator, and you guys should know too, you want to make it damn near perfect. And sometimes it just takes time to get it to that point. And it sucks that, it's an expectation, but it represents you and your page, and honestly what people would like. So sometimes it'll take me a full day, or if I'm at work and I'm trying to hurry up and do it while working, you don't want to rush it in a way. You kind of want to just make it as perfect as possible. So it's a while. And that's why I always say too, to schedule it ahead of time, or at least have something saved, or even put in your notes, like your hashtags or like your caption, just so it saves a little bit of time when you do plan on posting it. Because it make you go crazy, believe it or not.
How hard is it to sit there and pick these hashtags? Because, I'm looking through Instagram, and when people are promoting stuff, they got like 20 hashtags.
20 hashtags.
And it's like,
sometimes there's pages too that will actually, like, you could copy all their hashtags, or sometimes they have you want to pay for them, like what fits like your theme or what fits like your page, and you can it's a whole group, and you just paste it on your Instagram. But it's like, you just gotta find, like, if it's a purple shirt, like purple, like how John has on, green headphones, just stuff that it matches your video. But it does take a while. And I know it's with Instagram, you can only put but so much hashtag, because then it'll cut you off. It's like, can't save or whatever it says,
YouTube,
so it's a while.
YouTube lets you put up to 500 characters. So
500?
up to 500. So I'm over here putting like New York City,
NY,
NY, New York
NY
podcast, like little like it's just crazy sometimes, and obviously like you have to take some of the conversations you're having on the podcast and you turn into like if you're talking about family, then you'll put family in the tags, right? So it just is very repetitive, just because you want to make sure you take advantage of all those tags, so you're using up every single 500 of those characters, right?
Seriously. Yep.
But I do want to add that there has to be some level of obsession when you're a content creator or influencer, right? Because it can easily feel like a job, and that's the last thing you want to experience, because it's gonna drive you away from it. Just you can experience burnout very easily. Just like you can experience burnout in a regular job, you can experience that as a content creator, and you always want to keep it fun. So like for me personally, like I always try to have a level of obsession with it, like a healthy one, to where I'm personally motivating myself, like to make sure like we're ahead, like make sure like we're recording this podcast, but I want to make sure that I'm recording another podcast before this one even drops. And
that's the thing. I noticed that you guys do that. You have like a schedule basically. Like you just posted one not too long ago, I felt like, and then
yesterday.
Now you have this one, or and you had one before that, like not too long ago as well. So it's key, because you want to just keep pushing it out. Like that's like the whole. You want to keep showing your audience that I got videos for y'all, because obviously they're watching.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, and definitely like the schedule. Like when we had on my boy Steve, he has a lot going on. So for him to be able to give me that that time frame was first. He's in California, so me and John got to figure out. All right, it's 9:00 at night. You know what I'm saying? We got to work. Yeah, we got to work him in. And then be able to get that in there, because it's like we want everybody to see them, especially like you, Nikki, like everybody else we had on. It's to be able to give them like, look, this is life's not over. There's more to do. There's more to do. Or there's this person did it, you can do it too. So picking the people, picking the right people is definitely, like, I keep that in my head as well. It's not just we just want to throw people on here just to throw people on here.
Right.
We try to be like, who's gonna be able to give somebody some type of support, or give somebody some type of like I said, right, we have you on now, and people been thinking, or they're just in their head, damn, I want to do this. They see our video with you, and all of a sudden now they're following you, and now they're trying to mimic you in some way or another, or they just feed off of you, which is the benefactor of it. So the hardest part is for me and John is more, for me especially, is picking the right person. That's the hardest part.
Right. Picking the right person, the right vibe, a different topic. It's a lot to think about, because you kind of want it to all, like, people, it's basically you're giving us a floor to explain everything about what we like to do, and honestly it's dope. That's all we want to do, is just be heard, and just kind of share like what we like to do for fun, and bring the audience into our world, just like you guys have your own world, we have our own world too, and it's cool to have people look into that.
I always feel like the influencers, especially some that I see, and then the some that a lot of them just do it because, a lot of the faking it till you make it things. I know that happens because obviously there's a way to make money, and you're gonna abuse the system as much as possible. How do you stay away from kind of that lane? Like, how do you keep yourself grounded to like, nah, I'm not doing that. This is what I'm doing, and I'm sticking to it.
That's one thing I noticed on Instagram. A lot of people now are showing a lot of girls, I should say, are showing their day-to-day, what they wear, and like their outfit change. But a lot of them, I noticed the girls that's doing it with full outfits on are getting some views, but the views are tripling when there's girls that have like a bra and panty, and then they're showing like their outfit change. And people want to see that, but it's just like, it sucks that that's the world that we live in. People think that's going to give views all the time. Like you have to show a little skin in order to make it. And it's not true. And there's too many people, girls, men too, that's doing that. And it's kind of like, what makes you different from them? Like, you don't have to do that to get all the views and all the attention and all the engagement. Like, you can simply just be yourself and do something different than the rest of these people are doing. But it sucks that that's what it is. And I think just for me, it's just staying true to myself. That's not who I am. I like posting content with hopes that, you know, people like my content as well. But it's just not trying to be the typical everyday person that's doing it just for, like you said, the views and the attention. It's about just doing it because you really want to do it and the fun. And people get stuck into that world, you know, of more skin, the better. You know, it's just real typical.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's you know, but what like I said, for your basis is like, listen, this is what everyday girls go through, right? Their hair, number one, you know, their face, their skincare is important. All the little things like that, especially like stuff in their home, you know, that kind of matters a lot more than, you know, what they're wearing and stuff like that. Because in reality, not every girl is built the same, right? So I can't imagine that the girl that's over here repping Fashion Nova and she has a size zero waist, you know, 42 is not realistic to some people.
It's
You know
not.
what I'm saying? So I get you 100%. I get you. If you stay true, I think to me personally, I think is if you stay true to your person and show the world who you really like, who you are. I think that matters so much more, just being genuine. Because, like I said, I get it. I understand that, you know, you got to make money. You got to put whatever you can out there for the world to be able to, you know, come to you. But I think if you do things with an honest motive and you put your little sass behind it or whatever you can, you get, you know, you'll get people to come and see you. It may
Right.
not
People
be,
can relate to it.
yeah, not 2 million people not going to come view you because of that one situation, but you know, you're going to get that slow influx because why people like your honest reviews. They like that honesty. They like all that. And people do pay attention. Like I said, reviewing is probably the most. I used to work at a independent shop in Queens, and my boss is very, very, very fixated on the Yelp reviews, on the Google reviews, wherever they could review a mechanic shop. That's what, you know, he was paying attention to. Because why? That's what brought business in. What's the first thing that anybody does? Oh, I'm going to take my car to this place. Well, let's see how it does. Da, 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 da. And then you can see how everybody's complaints. Not every review is going to be the greatest,
Right.
but you know, you know, he always was very, very super attentive to that because that's what brought in the business.
Right. You know what's going right, what's going wrong, what you need to fix, you
Hmm.
know? The
Yeah.
feedback.
Yeah. And then, like I said, I think that's kind of like I said for you is like you have to be honest, and like you said, like you know, with picking certain items, just because of the fact that certain companies obviously like, oh no, you got to review it this way. You can't be bad about it. No, 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 no. You know, sometimes you gotta be like, no, wait, hold on, time out. I don't want to just, you know, get payola because it's like, oh, you know, they're giving me money or they're giving me whatever,
Right.
and you know, and then all of a sudden now you're putting this stuff in your hair, and all of a sudden you're fully bald.
Yeah, just because, you know, a free product. Like, no way. And like I said, Amazon be banning your accounts for stuff like that. And it sucks because you want the free things. Like, now I learned from my lesson. I used to always get the free stuff. Give me 5-star. I did it for a while. Amazon completely banned my account from doing reviews. Like, I still buy stuff. I can't give reviews on anything. And I'm just like, but that's what I love to do. So I'm just like, no, in a way. But it sucked that I had to learn the hard way. And I tell people all the time, especially I know it's on Instagram, they brands would do stuff like that. They'll message you, hey, do you want stuff for 5 stars? We'll give it to you. Just give us a 5-star review, blah, blah, blah. And you just can't keep doing that. So I'll tell anyone, like, don't fall for that trap. You're going to do it maybe one time, maybe twice, but don't keep doing it. It's not worth it.
No, I agree because there's a lot of stuff that, you know, kind of caters to, especially like I follow certain people that do fitness stuff and, you know, they do certain products. And so certain things I see, I'm like, I would never try that. I would never try it just because it's kind of skeptical to me, regardless of what they, you know, they just want to promote things to get paid, and it's like, all right, cool. Like I would never try it. But
And
a
then most of
person,
the time, too, you won't have the space for it. You just getting all this stuff and just racking up in the house. You don't got no more space just because it's free. Like, it's like, come on. Especially if you ain't going to use it.
no, definitely.
I feel like you have to keep the trends in mind. I think that's the biggest thing right now. Ever since like TikTok came out, well, everybody's going crazy. You see one person doing one dance, everybody else is doing it for that next month, right? So it's very easy to fall into the trend. I feel like that's what the main topic was. When pretty much like you can't fall in the trend unless you want to be in it. Because especially when it comes to products, because that's a whole game changer. It's very easy for you to get on your phone, do a little dance, put the music behind it, right? Nobody gets harmed, right? But then when they tell you, oh, while you're doing the dance, wear this product, or have this bottle in the background, or hold this bottle up, then that's where everything changes. Because what people don't realize is the moment you put a brand in front of the camera, that brand is gonna represent you. Because it could be 10 years down the line, and they could be like, oh, you know what? I remember Nikki posted a photo about them, and now that brand is being canceled. So now you're being canceled too, right? We're going through the whole. We're going through the whole cancel culture now, right? So you have to it's not necessarily just you being afraid, but it's about just like any contract you look at. Like, you want to make sure you know all the details about it. You want to make sure that there's nothing going to be tied to you that's going to affect you. And that's when it gets even more frustrating once you have these contracts, because these contracts are for periods of time where, you know, you have to promote this product a certain way. These contracts sometimes say that, you know, if the product sees that you're promoting it the wrong way, they can let you know and you have to fix it. If not, it's going to terminate the contract, and then you have consequences. So I just feel like that could easily take away from the creator or the influencer, because at the end of the day, like, you're just trying to promote the product because maybe somehow, some way you believe in that product, you care about that product, right? But you don't want that product to fully define your content.
Yep.
Because if what happens if you're promoting too much content, what happens? Everybody's like, oh, they're selling out, right? They're doing it for the content. They're not doing it for the content anymore. They're doing it for the product. So you have to make sure you have that balance of where you're promoting the product in a natural way, and where you're not throwing it in people's faces, where constantly every 20 minutes you're like, go use this promo code, like, you know, like one time in the video, before or at the end, like, that works, or in the middle. I don't feel like you should be doing it every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, you know?
Right, you just throwing it at them. It's like, all right, we get it. Okay, if you want to buy it, we'll buy it, type of thing. Yep.
Yeah, you have to promote it, right? You have to respect the company and promote it the way that they want you to promote it, but you also have to give the viewer the ability to decide if they want to do that or not. You can't force it down. You can't be like, oh, go buy this product, and if you do, I'll enter you to my giveaway. Like, you don't want to do it that way. You want to just be like, you know, you just want to be like, hey, go check out this product. If you like it, go ahead and try it. I use it, right? And then that's it. Leave it at that. And if you don't buy it, you're still gonna be here. You're still gonna watch my content, and that's what I care about.
Right. Totally agree.
So, what's the number one advice you will give somebody that is about to become an influencer?
Advice for about to become an influencer, I would say, have fun. Definitely get the tools. It helps getting, like, you know, a nice camera, or now you don't really need a nice camera. I saw your phone last time with me, you, and Giselle, all of us went out, Jonathan. Your phone's a great phone for pictures, so you don't need no camera. You can use an iPhone, because iPhone is doing it right now. So, and a good camera. Definitely get a ring light. I'm obsessed with ring lights now. Just if you want your content to be very crispy, you know what I mean? If you want it to look very nice, the brightness. I'm trying to think what else. Have fun, but also enjoy the moment while you're making the content, or while you're at a place trying to get, like, these nice, beautiful, aesthetic pictures. Like, take in the moment that it's about you doing your job, basically your second job, whatever that may be, or / enjoying the moment, the location, everything. It's kind of like, when you do it, just have fun with it, yet don't let it take over your life. And just to be smart too with these companies, like how I said with the Amazon thing, I fell into that trap of, you know, getting, basically, I can't do reviews anymore. It's like, just knowing your worth, because some companies basically, when it comes to, like, offering money or giving you the product for free, sometimes they really don't want to pay you. Like, that's what I know. They don't want to give you nothing. They'd rather give you the free product. And thing is, if you have, I think, starting off, like how I'm still starting off and trying to get my following up and my audience, I think for some brands, it's okay if you want a gifting collaboration, meaning you get the product free in exchange of content. But even if you want to still throw your price out there, it's okay. It's either a yes or a no, and you decide what you want to do. If you still want to work with that company or pursue with them, but you don't you give what you want to give. Like, don't have them suck you into doing something you don't want to do, like the contracts and stuff like that. Like, you have to just, it's okay. It's like, even for instance, probably going a little bit off topic, but people will ask me like, oh, like you getting free stuff. I want free stuff. And it's like, it's not that easy. Like, you have to really want to do it too. You have to make sure, like I said, you give your price to these businesses. It's basically just losing my train of thought. Losing my train of thought again.
No, I get it. You're referring to pretty much like the person may not. You're always gonna come across people that are not gonna understand what's going on, right? Because you could easily say, oh, like I'm getting these free products, and then they're just thinking you're signing up for giveaways, but they're not understanding that these people are looking at your social media pages to pretty much decide if they even want to send you products, right? Mm-hmm. They're pretty much judging you based off your work, social media, Instagram, whatever the case is, right? So it's very easy for somebody from the outside to just be like, oh, hey, Nikki, I know you're getting free stuff. Just tell me how you're getting the free stuff. That's all I care about. Yeah, but it's like you truly don't understand what goes on in the background. You truly don't understand all the conversations you have to have, all the back and forth, getting these random people to trust you, and vice versa, you trusting them, right? So it can easily become a headache, and I kind of like what you were saying earlier. You were saying pretty much like, enjoy the process while you're going through the process, right? It's not just about the negotiations. Like, while you're doing the negotiations, like take advantage. Like, you're going to a restaurant to promote the restaurant. Like, go ahead, take your pictures and all that. But at the end of the day, like, sit down and enjoy that plate.
Yeah, eat the food, like, enjoy the company, enjoy the vibe. Yeah.
The food might actually be good, right? Mm-hmm. You have to test the food out. You can't sit here, be on your phone editing a photo, and you're trying to eat at the same time. Like, put the phone down, grab a couple bites.
Yeah, you can definitely miss something along that path.
Yeah,
because it's with anything. It's everything that I see on social media. I feel like, you miss those moments because you want to be. It's really, to me, it's a lot of it, even in life now. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything you do, from like just now, like going to the gym has become a spectacle.
Yep.
I haven't been to the gym in forever, but just from my boys telling me, it's hard because sometimes you just want to work out. And there's girls and guys just doing all these videos, and you're in the way. And it's like, bro, how can I work out when you're over here doing all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Or just like I said, it's just take it pump the brakes, take it slow, enjoy it, man.
No, even when like you see people at concerts now, you see them just kind of like with their phone. It's like we're so eager to show what we're doing, where we're at, but we're not taking it in. It's like, just take the phone down. And it's easy said than done, because we do want to show off that, we're here at this concert. It's a fun ass concert. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna say. But it's just take the moment in. And also, what I tell people a lot too is to become an influencer, or even like try to get into becoming an influencer. Throw yourself out there. I'll say, if you really want to see if a brand really wants to work with you, hit them up. Find their email. Instagram's a good place too, because sometimes they'll give you the direct contact of the PR agency, or like, the team that you need to reach out to get the products, or work with a restaurant. Like, it's just kind of throwing yourself out there and not being scared. It's like that little music quote, whatever, on Instagram, like, your fear of looking stupid is stopping you. Because sometimes that is, like, some people just don't want to hear the no, well, I don't want to work with you. And I got many brands that didn't want to work with me because I didn't follow their niche, or I didn't have the following. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, but when I do get up there, at least, I tried. At least I know that I know what I got to do to up my content. Or if I, somebody else will come along. It's just, don't take no for an answer and think that you're done. Like, even with 2,000 something followers, like, I'm still hitting up brands, and a lot of them do say yes. They just want somebody who generally wants to, have their product and promote it and have fun with it. And it'd be the biggest brand. Like, it'd be brands that's in like Sephora or Macy's, like big brands that you would think that they would never even ask for your content. They want people. It's just you throwing yourself out there and asking them and having them, look into your page and, go from there.
It's crazy because there's some people that really, I guess they're kind of in the outside world with real people. They're kind of awkward. But when they're in front of a camera, may be different. Right. And they don't see it, sometimes because, they're always shy about something. And I personally think that some people really do shine brightest when they're alone talking to themselves
Yep.
and in a camera. And sometimes they seem, like I said, they just give it a shot. Don't be scared. You gotta try. You gotta try everything in this life. Not everything per se, but just give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? Just
Give it
give it a
a shot.
shot. You never know what happens. Just
You
give it a
never
shot.
know.
And at least you never live with that doubt in your head, which is like, I could have done this, but I never did. No, you do it. Do it because at least you can say, you know what, I tried it. I didn't like it. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. It happened. Or I tried it. I know I got to a certain point, but you know what? I just couldn't, things happen, life happened, and I couldn't, finish through.
Mm-hmm.
Just at least try it and get it out. Try to do at least as much as you can. Don't be afraid. Just take the
Don't be
camera.
afraid.
Yeah, take the camera and just say what you got to say, even if it sounds crazy the first time. Just do it. Just get out there and just do it. And you never know.
You
Right, Nikki?
never
You never
know.
know.
And someone's always watching. That's one of the biggest things. Someone's always watching. And that one video that you feel scared to put out there, that may be the video that'll make your whole page bloom, or more managers want to reach out to you. It's just always someone looking at your page. So I'll say do it. And for me, being a shy person, it's hard sometimes, but I think that's what I'm working on. Just being more out there, showing more content that I haven't put out in the past, and doing it now this year. Just branching out more.
I agree, and it's crazy that you say you're shy, because when you look at your posts and stuff like that, you can never tell, right? But
Don't think so?
I don't think so. But I want to add that most artists, like music artists, when they make a song, sometimes it's gonna be their greatest hit and they don't even know it. Sometimes you hear a lot of artists say I didn't even want to make that song. I kind of got forced to do it, and they released it and it ended up being the best song in the album, right? So it's the same way with content. You, even if you don't feel 100% behind it, just try it. You never know. Because I remember when I first started doing videos, one thing was I always found it cringy, to hear myself talking, and it's oh damn, I don't know, this feels weird, this and that. But then you post it, and a couple hours later somebody hits you up. It's yo, I saw your video, it was nice, I enjoyed it. It's and it gives you exactly, and it gives you that confidence, right? It gives you that oh, maybe it wasn't that bad, let me keep going,
Doing it, yeah.
I don't feel corny anymore, right? Whatever the case is. So so tell me a little bit about that, just coming out of your shell. You say you're shy, so I personally don't see that. Even when we're hanging out, I don't see the shyness in you.
Extremely shy, I promise.
So tell me about it.
I guess I'm seeing everybody else, sometimes you may think about when you go somewhere and you're trying to take a picture for content or whatever, you think oh, everybody's looking at me, people think I'm weird. And it's this is the world that we live in now. People are doing that like nothing. People will stop in the middle of Times Square just to start dancing. If they can do it, then I think anybody could do it, it's kind of you're probably never going to see these people again. I still have my moments. I hate sometimes I'm at a restaurant and I want to take a picture of the drink that I have or the food, and it's real dark in the restaurant, and the flash goes off, and I'm oh, damn. I'm being one of those types. It kind of gets embarrassing. I'm you know what? F it. The picture came out bomb. It's cute. I'm posting on my page. It looks great aesthetic. It's kind of you can't keep letting that get to you. And I think with me posting, me wanting to do more content that's outside my shell, for the longest, that's what was stopping me of oh, I don't want to show my dark bags underneath my eyes without makeup, and if you go online, those are the girls that's getting the most deals because they're showing their bare face, and people want to see real life people. And like I said, you just gotta do it and not be scared. And people now, you'll be surprised of people that was outside, that didn't want to go outside their shell. They got the biggest deals now, or they got some pretty cool collaborations. So it's just just taking a chance. And I think I'm still working on that for myself too, just taking a chance.
So Nikki, tell me a little bit about your short-term and long-term goals. As far as being an influencer, where do you see yourself in the next couple of months versus a couple of years from now?
Next couple of months, I definitely want to, I was just saying before my birthday, which is in April, something so small to me, but a lot of influencers now have which I have one, I just never use it, the little stand that they carry around to do
Yes.
create their content with the camera and stuff like that. But I don't mind having a phone, a better phone. So I'm thinking of either getting for myself a good digital camera, or just get a better iPhone, either or maybe both. I don't know, maybe I'll treat myself. But upping my content, bringing more audience in. I think I need to show more of my personality on my page. Like, you see people now posting videos and it'd be like random stuff, like as far as like things that they would think of or stuff that their pets would do. And I'm like, I think I'm pretty freaking funny when I'm by myself or around, my loved ones or family and friends. And people want to see that. That's what we're scrolling basically online seeing. We're laughing to ourselves looking at the phone. So I think I just want to bring more of my personality, bring more audience to my page. The content has to be better. I think I'm pretty hard on myself when it comes to content. Like, I want to make sure it's perfect, and if it's a dark setting or if it doesn't look crispy, I do not post it, or I try not to post it, I should say. So I just want to make sure my page is the top quality, and I want more brand deals. I still want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to make more money from it. I'm not sure it would be like my overall, like my job, but if it could be my everyday job, like trust me, I would love it. So I think it's just making sure I'm putting out the content.
And that's the goal, number one, financial freedom, and number two, being able to do what you love and love what you do and never be a job. That's the main goal.
That is the main goal. It is. And people look at it sometimes like family members, like, I don't think they understand pretty much, what we like to do. But from all three of us, like, that's something I'd like to do on the side. But if it could be our main thing, I think we'll be pretty happy. Like, we genuinely enjoy doing stuff like this. And it wasn't like that back then in our parents' time. It's like that now in our time. And I think we got more of the resources. Like, we can do it, It's about, grabbing the audience and putting in the work that this could be our everyday job, and I think we'll be happy with that.
No, it's like I said, even now, like from my end of it, from the industry, like I said, a lot of kids don't want to work.
Nope.
And it's at the same time you get a lot of criticism from older people because they're like, oh, these kids don't want to work, they just want to do. But can you blame them when they have the resources and they have the ability to just dance, laugh, play, and be able to put it out there, and people just fall in love with it and just keep following it, and to the point that they could just do whatever they want, and then just financial freedom to be able to, hey, I'm 18 and I'm making X amount of dollars, and I don't, I can just, just purchase what I want, put the content out there, and it's, and you're gonna keep doing these things, and it's like I said, it doesn't become a job anymore. It becomes something that you love. Mm-hmm. Yes, like Jonathan said, at the same time too, doing all of that, you end up exhausting yourself because of X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
Well, if you're, if I don't, at the same time though, if you take your pace and you do what you like I said, eventually you'll get to that point. Eventually, mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying, where you can have that freedom and do what you want and go everywhere and do everything that you feel like you can do.
Even like my coworkers, I feel like, they're more older than me and they don't understand. Like, they look at like, oh, look at Nicole, what you get today, Nicole? What free stuff you got today? And then I'm looking at them like, it's not about what I got today. It's the content that I made. And, like mm-hmm. it's, I think even if they are judging low key, they see that like, wow, like she does, she's nice with it. She gets free things, she promotes it, like it seems easy, and I think some people they just don't understand it. That's why it's confusing to them or kind of weird. But it's like we're in a new generation now. Like podcasting is huge right now, so I'm proud of you guys for that. Influencing, so many people are doing it, but it's like everyone has their own lane, so it's just like it's room for everybody to win. Honestly, it really is.
And it's like in the, I'm sorry, John, it's like in the car industry, as they say, right? As a salesman once told me, there's an ass for every seat. So, you just got to find the right seat, right?
Yeah, that's real.
And you also got to remember, your content is not going to be for everybody.
It's not.
You don't like when you look at your analytics, right? You see the different age groups that be watching. You see if it's a male, female, what country they're coming from, what languages they speak. So at the end of the day, like a lot of times you're gonna hear like old timers, and I feel like that's always gonna be around where they just don't understand. We live in different times. Like nowadays, you ask a kid what they want to do when they grow up. They say, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be, I want to be a Instagram model, whatever the case is, right? So growing up for us, it was like, oh, we wanted to be doctors, we wanted to be firefighters, we wanted to be lawyers, we wanted to, we wanted to be what these older people were showing to us, right? The people that are older now, they were younger at the time, so that's what they were pursuing. But now it's like this generation's they're pursuing the whole social media and the content, and it's just showing how strong influencers are, right? So now it's more competitive for us creators because everybody else is doing it. So now you really have to stand out. Before, you will go on YouTube, you will go on any, on Instagram and stuff, and you will stand out automatically because not a lot of people were doing it. It wasn't the norm. You were an oddball if you did social media or YouTube, right? So now it's very common. Now everybody wants to do it, and you have kids that come up to you and it's like, oh, I want to be like you, and it's like, holy crap, like, like, and it's crazy. Like, the one thing I want to add is just like sometimes stuff happens overnight. Like the progress you see with your channel, sometimes like you just don't understand it, but you have to like grasp it and just be like, you know what, like let me just keep going because I don't understand where this is coming from. Like I was looking at the I was looking at the analytics, and I'm thinking like it's only people from the U.S. watching, right? But we have people like all over the world like watching, and it's insane. Like,
it's insane.
Like you have people commenting from like in different language, in Spanish and stuff, and it's like they know English, but they come from Latin America or something like that, and it's cool because it doesn't feel like it's just like a U.S. thing. Obviously, most of your viewers are gonna come from America, but it's just nice to know that there's other people outside the country that are willing to hear how you're living your lifestyle. They're willing to hear the guests you're bringing on, because like the way we live our life is completely a third world for them, right? To where
they enjoy watching this content that you're giving them, basically.
And sometimes they don't have the freedom to be influencers like us, right? Or content creators. So they live their dreams through us, and it's our job to keep going for them. So that's like my motivation, and thankfully, like, I have a co-host, so I feel like me and Alex, we keep each other motivated. Like, yo, let's do a pod on Sunday. Like, let's do this, let's do that, right? So it's very hard sometimes where you're an independent influencer, because sometimes people in your circle, sometimes people in your household don't get it.
Nope.
And they don't get how much time goes into it. So now you feel like a bad person because you're spending 4 or 5 hours doing something, and it's like, damn, I should make time for them. So it's time management is everything in this field, and
it is.
And unfortunately, like, you have to just grasp the fact that people are not gonna understand it fully. You just have to try your best of your ability to make them understand it if they're important in your life. I can't tell. Yeah.
Not everyone's gonna like your content. It's true. It's kind of like, okay, what someone does is somebody else gonna like my content. So it's like, you know what? Thank you for giving me your feedback or how you feel. But all right, next, who else? Who else is into, like, even with you guys have 6,000 now.
6,000. Yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. No matter what you put it as, that's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. That's a lot of people watching that's in tune with you guys' channel. So it shows that you guys are doing something right, and people are interested. People are watching. Like you said, the comments that you get all over, it's dope. Like, it makes you be like dang, like, you have to kind of be cocky about it in a way, because, I mean, come on. And like, so some people don't understand that, but it's like you guys touched a lot of people, and it feels good.
For me, I don't look at the comments and the numbers as much as John, right? Because John usually goes, that's his thing, that's what he does. I'm more interested in the person I'm going to talk to today, because I want to get the most out of that person, just to be able to make everybody else understand their, who you are as a person, how you do things, how you do it. Because, like I said, the most important thing is to be able to reach to those people, the ones that are 6,000 people that like our content, that say, hey, this is the person that we're bringing on. What she does and what he does, and that automatically gravitates. Like, damn, you know what? I was thinking about doing something. How she did it, and now boom, and now you get that. It's just being able to just be able to throw. Just to be able to give that person just that little bit of push mentally, to be, hey, you could do it too, man. Just go ahead, do it.
Just start on. No matter how many followers you have, or how many and photos have you posted so far. It's like, just throw yourself out there. You'll get there.
Yeah, and definitely, and everybody, like I said, or even like I said, my boy, being a chef, or Steve's friend being a financial, being in this financial game, or anybody else that we've had on. taking those little steps to doing something that you love or curious about something, now you'll go ahead and be like, you know what, if that's what he took, then I'm gonna do that. Or if that's if that's what it is, or just seeing me and John do it, prompt with somebody else to be like, hey, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. If Nikki could do it, I could do it. So
Yep.
that's the most important thing for me, is to be able to have you tell your story, tell it how it is, and be able to be prepared for what's coming.
Right.
And then that way, that'll definitely keep everybody motivated and keep everybody understanding that this is our goal. It's not just about the numbers. But for me, like I said, it's not about the numbers. It's more about being able to give the people something that they can appreciate and understand
Right.
and put themselves around, and then be like, you know what, they're cool for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's more gratifying to me than anything.
Mm-hmm. It's true. At the end of the day, we're regular people. Regular people just trying to make it, or just trying to show what we enjoy in this world, what we want to do, and how it can affect somebody else. So, I think people forget that sometimes. We're just normal people, just in our own little world, in our lane.
Yeah. I see it as like a coin. I feel like you have to have a balance, because like you have one side of the coin where it's like what Alex is saying, right? You have to be able to just be passionate and just show the love and just like get the point across, which is you're trying to like influence somebody's life to be better, to be motivated, to be inspired, right? But then you have the other side of the coin, which you need so that can become a coin, right? Which is the analytics. So like, just to give a little bit of context on the analytics, gives you the information that people don't write in the comments. For example, like the analytics are so complex to the point, it pretty much gives you like a loophole of where you can grow your channel. Because, for example, when somebody is watching your video, the analytics tells you when people are signing off, when people are continuing to watch. So you can kind of see what conversations people are enjoying, right? So you kind of like, you can look at it and just, it's kind of like a scale, right? You're like, oh, it took a peak in this conversation and went down in this conversation and went back up this conversation. So you kind of have a good idea of what people are looking for, and it's a different form of data versus somebody physically telling you like, hey, I enjoyed it, right? And then it's also, you're also seeing, after you post certain videos, you're seeing how many people are subscribing, right? So for example, like let's say we drop this video, right? And this video gets us 2,000 subscribers, right? That's telling me they want to hear more about influencers, right? Which will then tell me like, hey, I gotta get more people in this field to come talk, because at the end of the day, like, you're an influencer, Nikki, but there's a lot of other people that are influencers in a whole different field, but also they have different stories. That's what's so cool about having a podcast. Like, you can bring on 100 people and they all have the same, like, they're all the same profession, right? But they all have different stories of how they got there and what they're currently going through. Because you can say like, oh, it's easy for me to be an influencer, but then somebody come on and be like, yo, I'm struggling. Like, I want to bring on both. Like, I don't want somebody just to come in here and tell me like, yo, I'm successful at what I do. Like, I want you to come and tell me your struggles.
All the sides.
Yeah, like, we're human beings. I'm not trying to paint a picture that everybody can be perfect, because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. We try to be the best version of ourselves, and that's what we put out in the world, right? So, and that's what we do in this podcast. We just want to show regular human beings, but I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna work my ass off, and I'm gonna continue giving you these podcasts that you're gonna enjoy, right? And I'm gonna do everything in my power to look at the analytics so that not only the channel can grow, but you getting what you're looking for.
Amen to that. Seriously.
So, Nikki, tell me a little bit about some of your passions and hobbies outside of being an influencer.
Passions and hobbies. I'm a homebody person, honestly. I think I've grown to become that person who loves having Sundays off. I do not like doing anything on Sundays. Like, if it's something in the house, I'm all for it. But if it's like going out, recently I went to Atlanta to go see my aunt, because she had a big birthday party. And that's my first time in a while taking a plane, like an airplane. Like, I used to always go to Atlanta to visit her and my cousins and my uncle every summer. And I haven't been there in a hot minute, to be honest with you. So I guess just going down there gave me the I'm in that mood to travel again. I've been a homebody for way too long that I'm ready to get out there and, you know, enjoy life. Go with my boyfriend. Let's explore the world a little bit. Like, I think I've been such caught in this little cocoon that I think I'm going to add that back to my list. So even for my birthday, I planned a trip just to do something, which is coming in April, which I know yours is coming up, John, too, in April. So, yes. And I would say traveling more. I love going to the movies, even though it's freaking expensive now. But I'm a movie person. I love going into the theater and watching movies. Just chilling for the most part. Like as I got older, I've become a real chill person. Hang out with my family, my nieces, you know, my friends. Once you schedule times and everything, but I'm chilling. I'm kind of like an old lady in a way too. Like everyone tells me that now. Like, I'm a little old in a way. I like to chill and relax.
So I want to ask you. You had mentioned it earlier. Your cat, since apparently your cat is a big part of you, right? Mm-hmm. There's not many cat people that I know.
I know people do not like cats. I don't know why. They can't stand them.
So it's not everybody's cup of tea. I sincerely think that cats are very smart. I think cats have. I like the fact that cats are very independent. Mm-hmm. You know, really got to. You know, it's not like a dog. You got to. You know,
teach them everything.
Yeah, you know, very. So, tell us about your cat.
Right now, he's sleeping. Like he's talking about me becoming an old person. He's become an old person. His name is Rocket. He, I think he's about probably 7 years old now. You know how cat years are different than. Okay, maybe he's 4 years old. My boyfriend's one like this, like he's 4, so he's 4 years old. He's 4. I never had a boy cat before. I've always had cats growing up, and they were just the cats in the house. Like right when I was living on university, where you know, I met Giselle, my best friend, your girlfriend, of course. I had cats, but they just were just the cats. But for this cat, it's like what I noticed with Alex. Though, like they're smart. They're smart as hell. Like little stuff. Like it's just. You know, so basically, he's like my first real pet cat that I actually experienced, and like I see his little personality, and even like recently, I went to go take him to the vet, and like normally with like cats, like they're house cats, they take care of themselves. So with him, it's like if something's wrong, you know, you have to take him to the vet, obviously. But people don't look at cats like that. People just think cats are cats. Like no, they're very much little personalities that just want love. And having a boy cat, you know, it's pretty. You see the little man in them. You know, they want love and affection by a woman. They want you to hold them. You know, it's annoying sometimes, the cat litter and whatnot. But, you know, he's sweet. My little Rocket is very sweet. Nice. And I think I saw online, actually, on Instagram, that cats are becoming the most search engine. I think it was last year. I think I saw it, actually. Like, it was like a survey or something, like a poll. And it was like cats were the most searched thing on Instagram. And I'm like, I believe it. I don't care what y'all say about cats. They are amazing.
So since we're on the topic of love, right? I want to give a shout out to your boyfriend, Justin. I feel like we can't end this podcast without showing him some love. He's a great guy. Like I feel like you guys are so compatible. And you know, it's amazing to see. I love hanging out with you guys when we go on double dates and stuff like that whenever we get the chance to. So I just want you know, to just give him his flowers and just tell, you know, pretty much show how much he supports you, because I feel like I said, you guys are very good together. And yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's just like you don't see that often where you find that person that is your rock. So when you do find that person, you know it, and you know that's definitely your person.
He's my person. I appreciate it, because we just click. Like it's like one of those things that, like, if I'm thinking it and I'm looking at something, I say someone, like, you know, crossing the street and I say their shoes are untied, like he's thinking the same exact thing. You know, it's like it's just little stuff like that. And even with like my content, like he's the one basically behind it as well. Like I'm the one who's having him go through everything. Sometimes he edits the video, sometimes he does like the templates on the beat, like, you know. So I give him a lot of basically 75% of like the props of like my content, because he's always the one helping me do everything. And that's, if I ever make it one day, he'll get a little cut out of it.
There you go. There you go.
So I appreciate him. I love him so much. So I appreciate it.
So I heard through the grapevine that he is a big Knicks fan. and that is enough for me to win him over. I don't even got to meet Justin now
I think I
because
did. I think somehow I knew that. I don't know if Giselle told
that
me or
yeah,
yes.
that is enough for me to respect him and honor him as much as possible because it is like the most cut. This is like the most love hate relationship that I've ever had in my life as being a Knicks fan. So I congratulate him as two.
It's
Because that's
hard.
got to be, yeah, it's hard being a Knicks fan these days,
It's
especially
hard.
Jonathan.
It's like, go
Jonathan
ahead.
being a Mets fan, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You like what you like,
You like what
you
you
know.
like.
But I know the real team in New York is, regardless of what they say.
Mm-hmm. It's even what he says too. Sometimes he's like, no matter what, if they suck, you see how packed that stadium is. People are always gonna be in New York watching their games. Like it's always gonna be love for New York. And I'm like, yeah, they suck sometimes, but like, it would just always be a love for them. It's no matter what. It's just New York. It's like you have to, and you gotta
Yeah,
be a diehard fan. You can't just
yeah.
leave and go and come back.
Nah, there's fans that just, there's people that just go to the games to go to the games, and then there's people that just really love the game to
Mm-hmm.
go to the games and watch the games every night. And it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a dedication that I respect. I respect him for because I know he's a super diehard from. He's like, he watches all the games all the time. He's probably one of those people that jump at the TV when something happens.
Yeah, and I'm on the side like, calm down, like sit down, like come on, or look, oh damn, this happened. Watching the game, look, this just happened. I'm like, all right, like whatever. But I think we all need to plan like the next game. Was it next season though? It won't be this season. Next season. This season.
When they play each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Nets and Knicks. Yeah, they probably don't play each other again this season. Probably not. But probably next year. Yeah.
So we gotta all plan something. I think that'd be a dope triple date that we all should do, just to have fun and go out and enjoy the company of the game and all of us basically. So I'm down for that.
Yeah. Definitely.
We gotta plan that.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So Nikki, if you could leave one message to all the viewers watching, right? What is that one message?
One message about like my content or like my
whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Open floor. It could be both. Up to you.
To not take life too serious. I feel like now, I know it's so cliche to say, but I think as I gotten older, life, the years just flew. Like I remember when I was 23 and I'm about to turn 30, and that just flew. I would just say time waits for no one. If you're gonna do something, you better start now, do it now, save now. Like you have to just think of the overall picture. It's not it's not easy in this world, especially with this recession that we're basically having and everything. But just to take time for yourself and think of the bigger picture and just keep striving and keep going, because it don't matter if you 50 years old, if you're 60 years old, if you're going back to school, like it's just about you doing it for yourself. Like life is too short to not be doing stuff for yourself and to take time and enjoy it, basically. Not to be cliche, but it's what I noticed, like me turning almost 30. Like just have fun, do what you got to do to where you got to get to, and do it for yourself. Don't do it for other people or listen to anybody, any outsiders. Like just really be true to yourself and get it done.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. I mean that's the law of life, right? Just if you don't stay true to yourself, if you don't truly give some thought into what you're doing, there's always a consequence behind it. And I just feel like we live in a world that it's so easy to fall under an influence, or just like kind of like not, like that whole saying, like be the leader, not a follower. Like it's very easy to fall within those lines if you don't have the right guidance, or if you're not guiding yourself correctly, right? And that's so broad too. Like it applies to everything in life. It could be from anywhere from your personal life to your health, to your future goals with your partner and family. So much plays into it, and I just feel like that's something we always said on these podcasts when we talk. It's just kind of like take your life seriously, make it count, make it worthwhile, and if you make it worth your time, if you put it in the hard work, you're gonna hit a point in your life where you're coasting, but you're coasting in the right way, where you're doing the things you want to do. You're vacationing. You're like you're saying, like you want to vacation more, and it's like Why is that? Because most people, they go so hard in the 20s. When they get their 30s, like they say your 30s are the best because that's the real time in your life where you actually start doing the things you want to do. Because in your 20s, you're still going to college, most likely. You're still
you probably broke for the most part, you know, just
definitely broke.
By.
You're trying to get out of your mom's crib or something, or you're trying to get your own place. You're trying to find somebody to start a life with, right? So your 20s is very difficult. It's kind of like all over the place, and you're just kind of picking up things as you go, right? And then when you get to your 30s, you truly know yourself in a way, and you're just kind of like taking life more serious because you're like, you know what, I need to make this next 10 years count, so I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm not gonna work so hard like I did in my 20s, right? And that's kind of how I view my life, where I'm gonna continue to grind. I'm gonna continue to have this passion, and like I said, like earlier, my obsession, right? Like I'm trying to obsess with this YouTube thing just so I could make the best outcome out of it, because I feel like I'll be failing myself and also Alex and the viewers if I don't give 100%.
Like you have to.
Yeah, because tomorrow we could stop posting, right? And it's like people go on, live their lives, but I feel like I'm failing, you know, a big group of people where they want to continue seeing these podcasts, and I'm just gonna adapt with the time, you know, like whatever I feel is most informative at the time, or the biggest message you could get out of it. That's what I want to be talking about.
And we appreciate it. Trust me. I think all the followers and all the listeners and everything, like we look into people like you guys to just give us like a little break from reality. Sometimes I notice now I'm the type of person, I like listening to podcasts while I'm on the way to work, and I never really cared to before in the past, but like I like hearing conversation. I think that's all people want to hear now, someone they can relate to, or topics that they don't talk about with their friends or family. Like, you know, it's just real life stuff basically. And that's all we want to do is just hear people out and, like, you know, see if we can relate to them or not.
Definitely.
So we appreciate it.
Of course, I appreciate you saying that. You know, it means a lot to hear, for sure. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're like sponges. We take in as much as we can, and then like when you squeeze the water out, we kind of keep whatever was the most important part of the message. You know, like we can sit here and talk for 2-3 hours, but you know, that person watching will take the best 10 minutes that they personally feel was informative to them, and they're gonna be like, you know what, I remember that one girl Nikki when she said this about being an influencer. You know what, I'm gonna try it. And that's my biggest message. I don't expect you to remember every single thing I said, every single second. I just want you to take some type of message out of here and incorporate that to your life and make yourself a better person. At the end of the day, that's what the message is, and it will always be that.
It will always be that. Agreed.
Definitely. But Nikki, I want you to plug your social medias. I want people to definitely go and follow you. Yes. I want everybody to go like, you know, the post, drop a comment,
stories, love, yep.
You know, go into the comment, put Flip Talk Podcast or something. Just, you know, show your presence. And I want you to succeed.
Thank you.
I feel like, you know, I'm very grateful for, you know, all the things you do in the background. You know, like, you know, you've done things to even help this podcast out in the background, and you know, I really appreciate that. And you know, sometimes you don't always have to be in the spotlight to do good things as a person. And, you know, I have so much respect for you to begin with. You know, you're my girl's best friend, and I see the friendship you guys have and the love you guys have for each other. And I hold you to high standards for that. You know, like, I know you're going to be in my girl's life for a long time, which means you're going to be in my life for a long time, right? So I really appreciate that. And just you going out of your way to help us out in this podcast in the ways you did means so much to me, and you know, I will never forget that. If I could ever do something to help you out in the future, most definitely will.
No, thank you guys. This is my first podcast ever, so if I'm a little nervous or tongue tied or having a brain fart, as always, like, that's just me on an overall basis. But I just appreciate you guys hearing me out. Like, trust me, like, just a little bit of what I said could mean something to someone, or, you know, me just getting my story out. So I appreciate it 100%. So yeah,
that's the platform to do it. You know, it's like I said, it's all we're trying to do is just however we can help, we'll do it.
Thank you for being an open floor, you know, to me, guys. Like, it's I appreciate it. Like, I can't say it more enough. Like, it's cool to be on a podcast and just feel basically comfortable, you know, and not be out my own skin. I just feel chill, like I'm talking to my friends, basically.
Yeah, that's definitely what we aim for. We don't want it to be. You don't want anybody to feel overwhelmed when they come on this podcast. We just want it to be like a regular conversation. If you were, sitting here talking with us, and the one message I want to leave with you as an influencer is just keep going, cause I was looking at my page the other day, and I started doing YouTube like in 2017, and it's now that like I'm seeing some type of result. To where it's like very noticeable, and I don't regret any of it, because I had to go through those horrible videos, through those horrible edits, constantly changing the things I do on YouTube, and I don't regret any of it. I will not go back and change anything, because you know what, it brought us here to this moment where we're having this conversation on this podcast, and I truly feel like this is our calling. I was meant to meet both of you guys. I was meant to meet Alex, to make him a co-host on this podcast, and I'm just very grateful, and I really, really enjoyed this podcast. Like it really means a lot to me, because we were able to voice how we truly feel. And I don't feel like you always get to this, because sometimes the podcast is like very chill. You kind of talking about sports. You don't want to get too like personal and technical. You don't want to be so like life, right? But this is one of these episodes where we had to talk about that.
We had to talk about that.
We had to. And it's real life. We're doing this every day. But
I'll give you guys, how people give their social medias, and they'd be like, OONI apostrophe, like, I can't do all that, but I'll give you my socials, guys.
Okay.
It'll be OOH Nikki. What's the thing called on the bottom? I forgot. I have that brain part. What's the little thing called? The little apostrophe?
The underscore. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. OOH Nikki, NIKKI _ on Instagram. You guys can catch me there, and thank you for your time. Thank everything, guys. I appreciate it.
Of course. And just so everybody's aware, we're gonna have it under the description, so you could just go down there, copy and paste it onto Instagram. And just please make sure you guys go show some love. Our Instagrams will be there as well. And just I hope you guys enjoy the content that we're all gonna be bringing to you. And
I hope so too.
And what's so amazing about it is we're like, there's so many different things that it's so diverse of what you do versus what we do, but at the end of the day, it's content, and just like that's what the world needs, is just as much content from different genres as possible. I just don't like when every single person is doing the same thing, because it becomes repetitive. It's just like, oh, they're doing the same exact thing, just a different face. And if that's what you want to do, is kudos to you, right? Like I'm not gonna tell you not to do it, but something about just being unique that always stands out, and that's how I see it. But yes, please go make sure you follow Nikki on her social media, and thank you for coming on the podcast. It was great. Alex, you already know. Any last words?
No,
thank you guys so much.
Keep sending Nikki more shampoo, guys.
Yes. I'm about to give her
No, I don't need it. I'm good.
No, it's for the beers. Okay. So nice and fresh, I promise.
That's different. But
thank you guys.
Of course. But thank you for tuning in to Flip Talk Podcast episode 11. We have our guest Nikki, our co-host Alex, and myself, Kudos, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Catch you guys. Enjoy. Love you guys.
Bye.